Bitch, I got some buzzes going, I'm a fucking stomach. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making.
So as you guys could have seen from that time lapse, the boat is now stripped, and also in that time lapse as well, I don't know if I included it, but I cut up this back section here to check the transom, and it is needs to be replaced, we've decided. So as you can see, the trailer's actually been done now. There's probably been a bit out for it now, so the next step is to do any of the fiberglass work on the boat that needs to be done. So that includes the transom, replacing that, fixing up holes and cracks like that, and also some little patchy holes over there, and just overall getting it done. Also probably these inside rails too as well, because they're pretty shot, and also just finishing taking off the little pieces I need to take off. But other than that though, it's time to work on the transom. So what our plan is today is we're going to be cutting off the transom, so, or the top cap, sorry, should I say. So from about here, I'm going to take these off about here on both sides all the way up, and just take this top cap piece up, hopefully it's not too bright, top cap piece off, and then that'll give us access inside it to cut out this piece and grind it back, so it's nice just back to the raw fiberglass. Come out, now we've got a glorified bathtub, which you really wouldn't want to use, and we've just, well, the top cap, should I say, and now the transom's being taken out. As you can see, it's 2 layers of fiber of marine ply, and this piece here is still like soft and wet when you squish that, so definitely was no go for there. So I'm just going to continue getting it out and then clean it up, ready for the new piece to go in. Alright, so as you can see, we have this grounded back, so it's nice and smooth. There's probably bits I need to go to the edge still with some sandpaper and stuff, because it couldn't get quite in there, but it's all ready to go for the cruiser board, so I'll grab that sometime when I can. Also, what I might do as well before I do it is make a template that has these 2 holes in it at the shape of the boat, so that I can transfer that hole to the other side, because there's none there, for symmetry, and also to have 2 drain holes. But yeah, looks pretty decent. Very dusty work, so 2 people on the vacuum, 1 grinding, so we'll be keen to get it all back together. So it's been a little bit since I last updated. I've had the boat moved up, and well, the only carport thing I have here up this steep ass driveway, which was an effort and a half in itself, and just been having, because of the roof right there, just covering up the back of it with a tarp so that it doesn't get all wet in there. Anyway, so what we found out is 2 things. One, I measured wrong for the cruiser board, or the transom thickness, and so we technically have the wrong size cruiser board. It should have been the 19mm and lay that twice to get 38, but we've got the 25, and we obviously can't go thinner, so what we have decided to do is just layer 2 pieces of the 25 on to make a 50mm, and then cut a little bit of the stringers back to allow for that extra bit, because that piece there that goes on the back, the piece at the back there, where it like kind of sits on top, the top cap piece, it is 55mm in that section anyway, so it probably will work without even having to modify that. We'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure yet, we might have to modify it a bit, but I'll tell you that when we get to it. So that's pretty close, as you can see. The only thing is the edges. Well, it kind of like sits off the edges. It's in a pretty good spot there. I'll have to check the fitment of how the other one was beforehand, just to see if it came right to the corner edge, or if this is enough for it to like then wrap around with the fiberglass. It's also quite high, although I don't think the height is an issue, to be honest. So what I'm noticing is down here, you can see it's kind of like not sitting there properly, it needs to round out a bit more. So I have to do some adjusting on that. So next one I'll probably do a bit wider and come down a bit further. I might measure from around the marking of where I want it to be and see how that see if I can get it to be a bit more matching. That's alright. Alright, I'm going to try and do the paddle pop stick and glue gun method to see if I can get a good shape. Okay, so basically what the glue gun method, the paddle pop stick method is kind of, instead of trying to match the template, use the thing I've been doing and get it right that way, what you do is you get paddle pop sticks, you pretty much just line them, if that can be seen, you just line them along the shape of the transom and glue each point so that you get a pretty accurate shape, and then it will stay solid like that, and then you can just then you can just grab it out in one shape, and it's a little bit better than trying to guess it, I guess. Cool, so I'm going to cut that piece out now and then we'll see how it fits. So, got the piece cut, as you can see, fits pretty nicely on the whole thing. And it's sitting pretty much on my marks along the top as well. And it's a pretty even gap, which is good. That side probably needs to trim it a bit more because it's sticking over that way too much. But that's pretty happy with that, to be honest, because it has enough room there for it to all tie in. What I need to do when I do it though is just kind of when I cut the bottom, I need to mark it, but then also like cut it and make it like flat like this, so the top face will kind of be sticking out a bit more than the bottom face. That's pretty much there. I might see if I can make another one. I might make another one once it's cut, like the stringers are cut back, so that I can decide on what I want to do from there. So I might quickly get those cut now. Obviously they're going to be cut at an angle, so I'll mark at the bottom 50mm from the back, and I'll cut top 50mm from a relative spot kind of thing. Alright, so just cut out the piece of Coosa board, 2 pieces firstly. So 2 pieces, as you can see. Obviously now I've got to make an epoxy mix and squish them together with a fiberglass sheet in the middle. Just so everyone feel what I've got. I've got this from Trojan Resin, or TrojanFiberglass.com. What is it called? Fucking Stitched by Axel. Matte resin, or fiberglass, if I say. It's kind of like, you'll see it in a sec, but it's kind of like more structural. So I'm going to be using that just to stick between it, so I have the chop strand. And then I've got this Vinyl Ester laminating resin and a hardener, which you only need 2% of this for whatever volume you're doing of this, which is interesting, because I'm more used to like, you know, 3-to-1 ratios and stuff of resins that I've used, but this is what they suggested for the job, so I'll be doing that. They also suggested that as well. I think it's 300 GMS, whatever the rating is for. I've got a gas mask because it's pretty toxic stuff. Bucket of mixing thing for the drill, some wax and grease remover to just clean it before I start wetting it up. Just some brushes, cheap ass ones because I don't care about them. Chocolate coconut water for fuel for me. As you can see, I've actually cut out the shape already. It's very seamless, the glue, which is good. Obviously you can see the layer in there, but there's no like big spots or anything. It looks perfectly sealed, which is great, and the whole thing. So what I've also done is I've cut it from here to here, a bit bigger. I marked out 512mm because that's the angle for the way it's going to be, and then just line the template up left and right, and then drew the line along to make it a little bit bigger. What I'll do is I'm going to have to cut that back a bit, test fit it, and I'm going to sand back at an angle where it will kind of sit in the boat, which is cool. So I want to get all that done now and get everything prepped, ready to go, all the sanding done and everything, so that I can just get into it like tomorrow, start gluing first layer of fiberglass thing and gluing this in. So that's the plan now. So as you can see, I've got the cursor all sitting in there nicely. It follows the line of the body. Nice. Just a little bit of a gouge, which is fine. That will get jammed full of epoxy stuff anyway. It's pretty well sitting on the edges exactly where I wanted it to. You can see there's a gap, but it's fine because when it gets clamped, it's going to close that up pretty nicely, so that'll be good. Okay, so I've got all the pieces of fiberglass cut, ready to go. So as I said, doing one chop strand piece, then some edging of the chop strand, then one of the stitched, and then edging of the stitched, and then I'll be gluing this piece in. So got everything ready. Got my steel right down the bottom that I'm going to be using, some bolts that I'm going to be using. I've drilled holes in that already for what I need, and some pieces of wood to like jam between as well. So just got to mix up the epoxy for the first batch, and then we'll get it in there. So it's been a couple of days now. I think I did this on like Tuesday, and it's now Saturday. I haven't really time to do anything else, but I don't know if I filmed how I clamped it, but this is it. So pressure from these two. The bolts, they're not tight enough, they're just there to hold the wood in place. But yeah, smack those down. And at the back I had this kind of thing going on. Steel, it pretty much holds it straight anyway. There was no issues there at all. And because it wedged down the bottom where that is, like it wedged right in there, it really wasn't going anywhere. So time to remove it all and then kind of process. I'm not going to do anything today, but just think about what I want to do to clean it up a bit, so that when I go to do the next part, it's a bit easier. I'm just also waiting on more resin to come in as well, so I don't really have a rush to get it done, but I might try and see if maybe tomorrow I can get it all cleaned up, ready for the next layers of fiberglass. Alright, so I've pretty much spent a couple of hours sanding it back, all the bits around it. So you can see the top looks nice and clear now. Did as much as I could with the grinder around the edges. And also you can see I've kind of shaved this down so the top cap fits on nicely. Now grinded a bit this the top Velcro back and made like a V shape on the points of all these, and then on both sides, and then on the top cap piece done the same thing on either side. I'll be a bit bright, and also on these parts too, so I can fix it like with fiberglass. So okay, so it's time to put the fiberglass pieces in to the top piece of the transom. So I've already cut them, pre-cut them. So I got one piece of chop strand, two of stitched biaxial, and I've got a bunch of fiberglass seam edges for the edges as well. And also I'll be putting fiberglass over the stringers too. Alright, so I finished fiberglassing in the transom here. Took about an hour and a bit. Definitely a lot better fiberglass job than last time. So time to let this dry and get the floor piece in will be the next step. So it's been a few days, and as you can see, the top cap is sitting on there, and also the actual transom itself has been done, completely finished, all fiberglass in. Haven't done the floor piece yet, as you can see, but I'm just gonna show you because I just put this on to have a look, and it fits on exactly pretty much where I wanted it. So I'll just take it off now and show you what the actual transom looks like. Alright, so here it is. It's all done. 2 layers of stitched biaxial, one on top, then around the edges, then on top again, and then also the stringers as well, 2 layers over top of them. So they're all done. So what I'm going to do now, make sure it drains okay still. I still got to get a drill bit to drill the hole, which is 25mm, but for the moment I'm going to make sure that I can feel through the holes at the bottom to make sure there's enough holes, and also I'll get the floor piece, which is that one there, ready to go, so that because I've ordered new resin and fiberglass because I ran out, when that comes in I can just get straight into it. I did use a little heater heating up on the transom to actually make it dry quicker as well. So I'm just getting the seats ready to get mounted in. So these are the base plates that I was mentioning. Basically this is what they look like when they're off. You have to get them bolted to this. They're diagonal to the seat, and because I'm using existing holes because I can't be bothered drilling new ones, and so I had to go out and get some bolts that are the right size so that they sit pretty flush on the inside too for where the cushions go. But basically what you do is you have this piece, which is a swivel, bolted to the floor, or screwed to the floor because I can't get a bolt in there. And then this just slides in like this. So it hits on that last bolt. There we go. And it clicks in. So, and when you want to move it, you just push this down and pull it out. You can pull the seat out, so you can rotate it around. So that's how this will work. I'll just have to put this in and then test it out. So we have one seat in, as you can see, and it actually works really well because it can spin all the way around without having to take it out to face backwards, and then all the way to forwards. Alright, there we go, that's what they look like on the outside. They're obviously not the final seats, these are just temporary from the old boat, so once we get new ones and stuff we can put them in, and I'll just use the exact same mounting that I've used for this one. It's way cleaner than the timber and stuff that I was using beforehand. Get the cushions on there. Keen though. They're pretty in line too, which is cool. So yeah, that's that. So I might get the deciding where I need to cut the side pieces for the back seat to sit in. Alright, so I have finished fiberglassing these pieces in, so the piece there, 2 bits there with a piece over the top of them both, and then the corner piece, which I know there's a bit sticking out of it, that's going to get ground off anyway because I'm not worried about that, and the floor piece is in there glued too. I made a really thick batch of epoxy, so I made sure when I use it, I put a little bit on the stringers and then on the back piece of this too where it's going to glue, let it like get tackier, and then set it on, and then because it was so thick I managed to go on the edges too with the epoxy to seal it. So that's going to dry now for 2 days probably, both of them. We've been lucky with the weather, but I've got a bit of a shield going anyway, so, and that, I know that looks a bit ominous there, but it actually seems to be the most protected spot from the weather for some reason. Also, I know I'm not updating like super often, but it's mainly because as soon as I finish work I get home, I just step straight into it because usually home pretty late anyway, so limited light, and don't want to be obnoxiously doing stuff, especially if I was like grinding or anything, so I'd kind of be smashing it out and giving you updates when I can. So I've spent a lot of time this morning first off thinking about what I want to do with the top cap, make sure it's perfect, and also when I put it back on. So in doing that I have decided to cut back the timber here, as you can see, and I've also done it on the other side in the actual boat itself, and I've ground back a strip on the inside so that when I go to put it in I can fiberglass on both sides and it'll be stronger. Now my plan for this is, obviously this is where it will be joining, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a piece of timber that's longer so I can glue onto both sides, and then just add some extra strength there so that it's not just that this piece is separate with just fiberglass holding it in. So I went out and got this timber, it's as close as I could get, it's 12mm thick, and it's 90mm, so as you can see it's a bit thicker and wider, so I'll just cut it down and then trim it to the size, and then I'll be using this piece and also around the edges to make it nice like the other one too, and then so I'll use this to glue it together. And then over here, so as you can see here, there's now a hole. I obviously redid the fiberglassing on the other side, but well, I decided it would probably be a good idea if I put a strip of fiberglass on the inside too. This sagged a lot, this piece here specifically, which is why it's cut out a lot. The other one not so much, which is just here, or here, sorry, and this one's fine. This one, okay, I've just sanded it back so it's nice and smooth. So the plan is to put some more 3 layers here, in like just long strips in here, which will then fix this part up, and then I'll probably go to the other side and just put one over the top of the other side too, just to cover it up again once that's done. Alright, so I haven't updated in a while just because I've been super like busy trying to get it done by a deadline. So as you can see, the top cap is actually on now, and fiberglassed in. What you can see, the pink stuff is body filler that I just used to bring this part up to level, because I wasn't really fussed on it being fiberglass level. Just as long as it's fiberglass is on there, it's actually a lot straighter now than what it was. Doesn't really look it, but it was. And I've also repaired this hole here and re-drilled it for the ski pole, which it fits a lot nicer now, and it actually goes straighter down into it. Obviously these bits come down here, so under there we got the transom and the floor piece that I put in and painted it with shift right. I'll put a link in the description of the paint that I used, which is safe to put over fiberglass to protect it. It's kind of like an epoxy style paint, so it kind of is thick. And then I put the top cap on, glued it on, and had a piece of wood, like I mentioned, that spans the distance of this gap here on both sides, just so that it's a bit stronger. And I glued that on when I glued it on the top, and then once that was dry, sanded back any fiberglass and any epoxy that was sticking up. Put layers on top and then layers underneath as well, which the underneath part was the bane of my existence. That was really fucking hard, but it's on now. Put some of the epoxy or the base coat, the primer stuff, underneath just to protect the bottom, and I've got gel coat now ready to go. And when it's not miserable and it's drier, that's dried for a while, I'll gel coat that. Alright, so it's the big day, getting the motor off that boat onto this one, all the seats, all the trim, everything going in as well. This is I've gel coated over this and just painted it because they sent me the wrong gel coat. They sent me neutral instead of white, which is what I wanted. So I ended up just spray painting over it because it doesn't need to look pretty at the moment. So yeah, I got a bit of cable spaghetti to go through up there. Steering is currently stuck on this one, so that's the last. We'll kind of need to get sorted quickly. As you can see on top of that, I've got a lifting hook for it, and I've also got a 2-ton sling for it as well. So, and get to use the forklift for it. So, anyway, probably just gonna, like I said, trying to get a rush to get it done because we want to try and take this out today to give it a test run. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah.
Did you do the bungs up? Oh, it floats, yay! Woohoo, it floats!
She lives, she works. Hectic. Good one. That was a massive one. Yeah, baby!
Turn around like